If you're watching this video, you're probably wondering what the heck is Flock-A-Round. I picked up this game recently in the most recent Steam winter sale, and I think I need to make a video about this game because it's really kind of blown away my expectations that I had going in. I feel like this game, it's really struck like a bit of gold here because the concept itself sounds pretty boring on its own. Like bird watching, like how is that going to translate into any kind of game that anybody wants to play? But I think me and my friend, when we first played it was probably a Sunday night. We played 3 or 4 hours just in the first session because we just couldn't stop playing. We just found the gameplay loop so fun and so rewarding and engaging. But let's not take my word for it. Let's get stuck in and just have a little look around Flock-A-Round. So I'm going to start off by just going through some of the basic options. So there's a general tab, which just includes all the stuff you'd normally see, like sensitivity, language settings, nameplates, head bobbing, blah, blah, blah. Graphics tab has windowed full screen, which is always a big plus. You can change the FOV as well, which I really love. I love always maxing that out. Has a basic frame rate setting. It doesn't have unlimited, I don't think, but you can get it up to 240 frames, which, I mean, if you have a monitor higher than that, you're probably some kind of pro esports athlete or something. Obviously has VSync, which I have off, draw distance settings, detail distance. But honestly, a lot of these graphic settings don't really matter because the game's not that taxing. Unless you're gaming on something that's, I don't know, a potato, I think you should be fairly safe with this game. Audio also has in-game voice chat, so you can see my levels metering there. Has a master volume, music volume. I always love it when they include this slider. Sometimes if the soundtrack or, the music's pretty repetitive, got to get that shit down on 10% straight away, But this game, I don't think the soundtrack's that bad from what I can remember. It's been a few weeks since I've played, but sound effects, bird sound effects is really important because pretty much every bird in this game has a unique call that kind of represents the call they do in real life, and you can actually identify birds just by the call without even seeing them. There's also the shiny volume, which is kind of like Pokemon. There's a rare chance, I think it's a certain amount of birds spawn in that are shiny during like a server instance. I think it's like a drop rate of, whatever percent. There's also got key bindings. You can play a controller if you really want to, if you're that inclined, but we're PC players here, so we don't do that controller business. There's also a customization menu. You can customize your character. That's what I kind of came up with last time I was playing. Very accurate. Definitely what I look like in real life. All the cosmetics you can earn through in-game currency, which you pretty much just get for taking good photos of birds. So there's no microtransactions here, which is fantastic. Yeah, has a good selection of cosmetics for a game that's only come out recently. Also, you can upgrade, the look of the camera, your binoculars, other random stuff. What is this? Oh yeah, got an egg, pirate eye patch. And there's also a DLC for this game that's just come out, which I've picked up. So obviously there's some cosmetics that are unique to that. Anyway, that's enough of the menu. I think we just get stuck in and create a game, to be honest. Alright. So far there's only 2 maps in the game. There's Goose Lake, which is the default one you get with just the base game, and then Emu Island's the new one that's just come out. I'll pretty much only be looking at Goose Lake today because I haven't even started the Emu Island DLC yet. Works off, I think, Steam matchmaking, if I remember correctly. Join game. Yeah, so if you have friends playing, you can just join straight off them that are on your friends list, I'm pretty sure. But otherwise, you can just use the lobby code system. Alright, let me just start a single player game. Voice chat on. Bird poop on. Allow shiny birds on. when you're creating a game as well, you can choose whether you want the progression to be shared or individual. So that way, if you're playing with friends that have, already maxed out or finished the game, you can kind of keep progressing at your own pace instead of being forced up to their level and perhaps accessing content you haven't unlocked yet, which is good. I'll leave it on shared progression for now because I'm just playing single player. So, pretty easy to get stuck in. Pretty much spawn in this little porta potty looking thing. And there's no real tutorial as such. It's basically just, here's how you play. Right click to go into the camera eyepiece. And you can left click to take photos. I don't have any film at the moment, so I'll have to get some film, but whatever options are, there's G, which opens up the guide, which has all of the birds that you can possibly see, sorted by biome. And you can click into each of the individual birds. You can listen to the call. So that way, if you're looking for a particular bird and you're like, oh, I can hear the call. Also tells you which whistle to use if you want to try and lure the bird in. We've got control for crouching, which is really important because you kind of have to sneak up on the birds. If you rush in, they kind of get startled and fucking fly away. So we've got, what does F do? I don't even know what that does, to be honest. Maybe you can punch the birds? I actually don't remember since I last played. Maybe it's like hand signals. Oh, maybe to tell the bird to turn around, maybe? Yeah, God knows, bro. All right, so then obviously scroll to go through your inventory. What is that? Oh, if you've got a lure, you can use left click to use the lure. Pretty sure I bought some last time, but I'm not sure if they carry over between my saves. Maybe they don't. Or maybe they're in my thingamajiggy. Where's the inventory? Ah, here they are. So you can just click on that and then assign it to a slot. There we go, got 2 bird calls. So basically the aim of the game is you want to be getting all of the birds in 3 stars in all 4 different poses. So you've got the front pose, which is the bird front onto you. You've got the flying pose, which is the bird mid-flight. You've got the side pose where the bird's side onto you, and then the back pose where they're facing away from you. I can see if I can give you some examples of ones that I've actually completed. So I've got the bald eagle. So there's the front pose, flying pose. You've got the side on, obviously a bit obscured, but that's all right. And then there's the back pose. And the idea is you're supposed to get all these 3 stars to complete your journal. And that's kind of the progression of the game. Ideally, you want to get, all 4 poses, plus there's also the shiny variant. So every bird has, as I said before, the option to spawn in as a shiny version. And you have to capture each of the birds in the game in that form as well. All right, so I reckon I'll just get stuck in and I'll show you a little bit of gameplay. While I'm still here as well, there is a shop, which is here. I think I already went into this, but here in the shop, you can upgrade your camera, increase the zoom level, increase the capacity of the film. You can get a bird identifier as well as an option to show the completed poses. So that way when you're zoomed in on the bird, you know whether or not you've actually got, the front pose or the back pose or which one you're still kind of working towards. You've got the binoculars, which you can use to spot birds. It's kind of basically like, if you think of, Soldier 76 from Overwatch, you basically can see all the birds through the walls, like you've got freaking aimbot. Highlights birds, you can highlight players, you can highlight birds that you haven't captured before, so that way you can, chase after them and get a snap. It also shows you where the shinies are. I'm pretty sure it has a pretty good range of like how far you can see. But basically, it comes up with a little dot, as you can see there. And that star one there is obviously a shiny one. You can also buy seeds as well, which you can put on the ground, and the idea is that it'll attract the bird that you're trying to go for, and they'll come and eat the seeds, and you can get a snap. And there's also warp totems as well. So instead of walking to all the different biomes, the idea is you can just teleport straight there, which is pretty handy if you're lazy like myself. But I haven't actually bought any yet because so far I've pretty much just been exploring by foot just to try and take in the game, get the lay of the land. So I'll run you through the basic capture process. So best way to find birds, I think, in the beginning is just kind of listening out to the calls and then trying to find them based off the positional audio. The birds do react to your in-game voice. So if you have the voice activity setting on and you like scream or you're talking to your friends or someone yells or something, the bird will get startled and fly away. So I think that adds like a real comedic element to the game. Because you see I'm talking too loud now and the bird gets really skittish and then it just zooms off. Oh, I can hear there's a shiny bird. Damn. Have I got this one? Let's get a quick snap of that. Oh, I haven't got this at all. Where'd it go? So yeah, all idea is obviously get the front shot, side shot, back shot, flying shot. I'm kind of talking too loud at the moment, so it's just flying all around the place. Sometimes they do land on your head, like right now. I lost where he's gone. Where is he? He's on top of that bush. There's a side shot, I think. Where did he go? Oh, there he is. And the idea is you want to get, of course, as close as possible to the bird. So you can get the more, I think you get scored on like the centering of the shot as well as how close you are to the subject. So at the start, you start with like a 1 times or a 2 times zoom, I think it is. And as you progress and unlock more, or you get more money for your bird shots, you can upgrade the lens, as I was saying before, and then you can zoom right in, which makes it easier to get the perfect shot. But the composition really is all about centering it in the frame, zooming in as close as possible, and getting, the 3-star shot, because that'll earn you the most money. So I've run out of film here. So when you run out of film, you got to go to these Developertron boxes, which are scattered around the map. I think there's at least 1 or 2 in each biome. And from here, it rates your shot and tells you kind of what you did good and what you need to work on. So this one was, perfect pose, perfectly centered, but could be bigger in the frame because obviously it's quite far away. That's just a tree, so I think we get nothing for that. That is also just a tree. A lot of tree shots in here. So that one was a 1-star. Pose is okay, common, perfectly centered, but obviously it needs to be bigger in the frame. And each photo, I think, tells you the total value. So I'll get $13 towards my balance, which I can use at the shop. Let's see if I can get to these photos of the shiny one I've just captured. Oh yeah, there it is there. So that's first. So for the first shiny of every species, you get $150 straight off the bat. So I got a 2-star on that one for the side shot, which is not too bad. Total of $350. Take that straight to the bank. There we go. A little 1-star front shot. You don't get the bonus again, even though it's shiny. You only get it once. That's not a bad one. 1-star. I don't know if I got a back shot for it, which is kind of upsetting. It's always good if you can see the bird first time and then get all of the shots on the first go. There we go. Upgraded the side shot to a 3-star. Oh yeah, another feature I do like as well. If you take like a photo that you like, you can just save it straight to the Steam screenshot folder. So if you want to share your photos of your birds with your friends, I'm sure they'll be really proud of you. There we go. I did get a back shot, 1-star. Sick. Oh, I even got a 3-star flying as well. Yeah, so I think where this game really shines and what really scratches the itch for me in terms of wanting to come back and play more. It's just kind of like, I suppose it's kind of like playing Pokemon, or maybe Pokemon Snap, I guess. Because I've never really played Pokemon Snap, but I imagine it would be pretty similar to this. Is where you're just kind of walking around the map, exploring, trying to unlock the new biomes, trying to upgrade your equipment. So there's that sense of progression. And obviously, as you progress, you can take photos of the birds much easier and get those perfect shots. You can track the birds easier. So I feel like the progression element is really good. I'd say it might be a tad fast. Like if you were going really hard at this game, you could probably pump out, unlock every biome, unlock all your equipment in probably around 4 or 5 hours if you're on a server with a few people. I don't know. There's just something about this game though that's just really fun and I find really unique. Instead of like kind of like a big game, like Kabila's Big Game Hunt or like a bass fishing or something, where you're like herding animals, killing animals, shooting animals. It's kind of, you're just out in this kind of simulated, cartoony nature, and you can just listen to the sounds of the birds. You're trying to get the perfect shots of the birds. I don't know, it just really scratches an itch. I feel like this game also works very well in single player as well. Like you don't have to play it with other people. If you just want like a little cozy game, to play on your own in your downtime, I feel like this wouldn't be a bad option. Especially if you're a nature lover or, you do bird watching in real life as well. I feel like it really captures what it is to do bird watching in real life, like in a like a game kind of format. As I was saying as well, another key to the progression is unlocking these new biomes. So I'll show you a little example of what that looks like. I think I've already unlocked this. This is like the first one you can basically get, I think, which is the cherry blossom biome. Each biome has obviously specific birds that you can catch there. I actually haven't got all of the ones in this biome. So maybe we'll see one I haven't got yet. But yeah, here's another Developertron. Another thing I should add why I'm here is there is light, I suppose you call it parkour or platforming elements to this game. So in this section here, if you want to get to the higher part of the cherry blossom biome, you've got to jump up these rocks, which, I don't know, if you're just trying to have a cozy game, you might find a bit frustrating if you're not particularly good at platforming. But, as someone that's played Counter-Strike and, I don't know, PC games for my whole life, the platforming element really wasn't too hard. And I kind of found myself wanting to the controls feel pretty good, so I want to try and explore by like climbing up trees and like climbing the mountains and seeing how high I can get, kind of thing. And I feel like the game does pretty well in rewarding you for that, because they have like little what are they called, like little cave paintings and like mystery items that you can find throughout the map. So it tells you which biome they're in. Obviously here, you can take a photo of them, and I think you get like $100 or something for the first time you capture the unique landmark. So it's just like, I guess, another little way to add exploration and, a few more elements to the game to mix it up a bit. Before I ramble on about absolutely nothing for another 20 minutes, there's a couple of key points which would be good to go over. So the value for money factor. A lot of people, money's tight at the moment, so you don't want to be spending heaps of money on games that you're going to play for 2 seconds. Especially I find in the era of kind of friend slop games, where every weekend your mate's like, oh, come on, just got to buy this game for $17, bro. Like, we'll play it once for 2 hours and never play it again, but it's going to be fun. I think this game, on the grand scheme of things, for $7.50, if you get, what have I got? Probably about 5 or 6 hours, 86 minutes this session, but 5 or 6 hours total, I think, I've played of this game so far. For $7.50, I'd call that good value for money. There's obviously 6 biomes, probably about 50-something birds in the base map. Stuff you can unlock. You can put your own photos into the album. So I mean, there's plenty of stuff to do. Really, it's one of those games where you can kind of set your own pace. Just kind of set up little objectives for yourself. You can drop in and out whenever you want. You can play with friends. You can play solo. Yeah, I think value for money, it's definitely ticked the box there. I suppose the next question is, will I keep playing the game? And the answer is probably. I mean, I've already bought the DLC, so I'm going to have to play through that. I haven't even finished the base game yet. I mean, there's still, heaps of birds that I haven't even seen or got photos of all the angles on. Like, I'm not really that big of a completionist. Maybe you guys are, but I don't know. That never really does anything for me, seeing all the meters fill up to 100% and doesn't really give me a big sense of accomplishment. I just like to kind of go at my own pace, unlock everything that I can, and then when I get bored, I just hop off. But if this game keeps coming out with new content in terms of like birds and biomes and stuff, I'll definitely buy them, especially, let me have a look. What's the price of the new DLC? So the new DLC is, let's have a look. It's $5.99 Australian. So at the end of the day, that's not that much money. Another criteria people always care about is, of course, performance. And because this game's chosen to go for the art style that it's gone for, that kind of cutesy, cozy game, kind of pastel aesthetic, really means that I reckon you could play this game on a potato potentially, because it really is just kind of 2D assets in a 3D environment. Because all the birds are flat, like they just kind of pivot their direction to face you, so that way you don't really see that, I guess, that false facade of them being just like a 2D sprite. But as I say, that kind of adds to the art style of the game. And it allows them to add way more species in, I think, as opposed to if they just modeled them all in like 3D and like Unreal Engine or something like that. Because as an indie developer, you really, wouldn't have the manpower to do that, to animate all the birds as well as, model them all. So using this 2D form factor definitely works in their favor. But in kind of summarizing and finishing up my thoughts, is this game for everybody? Probably not. If you're after something with a bit more action, a bit faster paced, if you're kind of more of an FPS shooter kind of guy or gal, then this probably isn't the game for you. But if you're looking for just a casual game that you can play with your friends for a few hours here and there, try and just fill up your bird guide and collect all of the different types of birds, then you really can't go wrong. This game really surprised me in how fun it could be, especially playing with other people. And I would definitely recommend picking it up if it's on sale. But even at full price for $7.50 Australian, you really can't do wrong by supporting this developer and really just giving it a crack. See if bird watching's for you. All right. Well, appreciate you listening to me ramble on. And feel free to share your thoughts about this game in the comments.